Good morning. I want to welcome everyone to Commissioner's Court. And as we get started today, we have Brother Brent Williams with us. Sir, if you would please come forward and lead us in the invocation. And Commissioner McCann, if you would, the pledges.
Let's pray. Father, we just want to say that the toughest thing I see in the Bible is what your will is for us. And your will is that we rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and in every circumstance give thanks. And during this holiday season, and when we see what's happened in Kentucky, that verse is very hard. But I just pray right now for those folks that they can realize that we're supposed to humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God, that we may be exalted in due time by casting all of our cares onto you because you care for us. And I just pray that we as a people here, as we go home, we realize that rejoicing always, pray without ceasing, and everything give thanks is not just supposed to be during Christmas and Thanksgiving. It should be the heartbeat of our lives. Every day that we wake up, that we're breathing, we realize we've been gifted something great. I just pray that we realize that Christmas season can be year-round, and it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Brother Williams, thank you, sir. All right. Well, the time is 9:02. We do have a quorum, so we will call this meeting of Commissioners Court to order. Are there any citizens' comments?
No, sir.
All right. Item 1, consider and take action take action on minutes from previously held meeting of Commissioners Court on December the 14th, 2021. Are there any additions, deletions, or comments?
Hearing none, Judge, I move we approve the regular session of Commissioners Court dated December the 7th, 2021 as presented.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Spivey, to approve the minutes from December the 14th, 2021 as presented. All those in favor? Item passes. Item number 2 is consider and take action to reappoint 2 members to the Henderson County Hospital Authority Board. And court, we do have at this time 3 positions that are or will be open for appointment. And we have 2 sitting members that are currently wishing to be reappointed. Now, these members, one is representative of Precinct 4 and one is representative of Precinct 2. So, Commissioner Tooley, if you want to start with you and your representative.
Yes, Mark Smith has been appointed for some years now, and he is asking to be reappointed. I believe Ms. Brown does not wish to be reappointed, but I am encouraged that Mr. Smith has done an excellent job for the Hospital Authority Board in Henderson County.
Okay. And Ms. Smith Ms. Brown not wishing to be reappointed, be on the hunt for an individual to represent one of the other Precinct 2 positions.
Yes, I have put out the word, and I have 2 or 3 names that are supposed to be coming back to me, so it'll probably be after the first year before I have that.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Richardson.
Yes, Dr. Doug Kern sits on the board, and he's asking to be reappointed. He's a great asset to be on the hospital board to keep all this stuff organized that we have to go through here in Commissioners Court with the authority and stuff. So I'm grateful that these volunteers and appointees are wanting to be reappointed.
Is there any comments or discussions? Hearing none, entertain a motion to reappoint.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Richardson to reappoint Dr. Doug Curran and Mark Smith to the Henderson County Hospital Authority Board. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes. Item 3, consider and take action on memorandum of understanding with Indigent Healthcare Solutions, otherwise known as IHS. Court, this is the vendor that provides us with the software used by our indigent health coordinator to keep up with the services rendered through the indigent health program. This is the billing process. This is also comparing against Social Security claims. Ms. Iwaski, if you handled this for a number of years, if you'd like to add to it.
This is the agreement that we do every year. They're like the largest with the indigent health. And it's our software that we use to keep up with the applications and to be able to process the applications and do the billing.
I believe we've been using this system now for 5-6 years.
I'm not mistaken, Ms. Harris was on it in 2013 or 2014.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's been a good time. And I will say about this system, having the checks against SSI and that has been beneficial in instances where the county can be reimbursed for some expenses that otherwise wouldn't have qualified.
Right, they do checks every month to see if somebody receives Medicaid. If we do that, then we can go back and get some money back.
Okay. Any questions from the court?
I just have one.
Okay.
Is there any reason why we're doing it so early?
Just getting it out of the way.
Okay,
We had time.
I understand.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to renew the MOU between the Henderson County and Indigent Healthcare Solutions beginning March 1st, 2022 with the judge's authorization to sign.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner McCam, to approve the memorandum of understanding with Indigent Health Services for a 1-year term beginning March 1st, 2022 with the judge's authorization to sign. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes. Item 4 is consider and take action on requests made by Juvenile Probation Department and Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 to waive a premium differential for the Wellness Incentive Program. Ms. Beaver.
Good morning, Court. Last year, this is going on to the second year, but last year we implemented a wellness incentive program that would require employees to complete an annual physical as well as a tobacco cessation course if they are a tobacco user, and to certify as a non-tobacco user if they did not use tobacco, in order to avoid a $25 monthly premium for the next plan year. We received the report. The cutoff date for the first one that we administered was August 31st, 2021. I received the report in October from Texas Association of Counties on the completion for our employees, for our workforce, and there was quite a few employees that did not complete the requirement per the report. And we had, since we started the wellness incentive payments, we've had some employees come up to me and state that they did actually complete the report or the requirements. However, the reporting was sent incorrect is what they stated. I've reached out several times to Texas Association of Counties, Sonic Boom, who our tobacco cessation is through, as well as the insurance company for the annual physicals to ensure that the reporting sent over was clear, concise, and accurate. The response that I received is that it was accurate. However, the two department heads that have requested a waive of premium differential state that they either watch their employees complete it or that they know that the employee did complete it. So if you want to ask them any questions.
Questions for Ms. Beaver?
We had a year to complete these.
You had 10 months to complete it, and over the course of those 10 months, I sent out seven emails with reminders on completing it and how to verify if you've completed it.
I know I had 3 guys in my department that were being charged for the tobacco cessation, and they did go through and follow through, and they had completed it, and they got their reimbursement.
Yes, and that was, they did it over the phone instead of on the computer. And they were able to provide documentation with their certificates of completion to me, and that is the only reason why it was
Are these the
returned.
ones that's highlighted in the green here that were refunded? that
Yes,
were-
those are the ones that are highlighted in green. The ones that are highlighted in yellow are the ones, the employees that we were discussing today. The ones in orange on your spreadsheet, they didn't qualify to complete or to do the wellness incentive.
If we waive
What-
this
what-
for,
What we're saying is that they did complete it, but
They
it
did
didn't show
not.
up?
Well, that is what the employee and the department head is stating. But based on the report in the system that is ran for the tobacco cessation, they're stating that it was not completed.
And these were for
These were tobacco. I don't know if they were non-tobacco or tobacco due to HIPAA. But I just know that the tobacco cessation was not completed per the report for these employees.
if we waive this for a few, I think everybody else is gonna want it waived too, is my feelings.
Any other questions for Ms. Beaver? Was going to allow the requesting departments to come forward.
Yeah. So I got one question before you do that. So if you were on the phone, you got a certificate.
Yes, they were able to email, they were able to contact or call through the phone, and they were able to get them to send them their completion certificate. Everyone has a completion
And so
certificate.
anyone that's in the yellow did not contact by the phone.
Did not contact by phone. They stated that they did it on the computer.
Okay. So if we can get it on the phone and they can't get a certificate on do you get a certificate when you complete it on?
The computer? Yes, sir. It's even on a list of, if you go back on your Wellness on Target and you pull up, because that's where the tobacco cessation course is, if you are a tobacco user, it's on Well on Target. If you go back to that website, you hit the menu, drop down all the way to certificates, and it prints out every certificate that you've completed on their wellness site.
Okay.
I did it this morning for an employee here in this building.
Okay. Judge Pollack, Mr. Nicholson, if y'all would like to come up.
Good morning. Thank you for your time. June 23rd, me and 3 of my employees got together and did this tobacco cessation online. Mine went through. We thought at that time that theirs went through as well. They had to help me with mine. That's because they're more tech savvy than me, and they helped me navigate to get there and do it. Didn't realize that theirs did not go through until they started getting charged the penalty. They came to me and brought it to my attention, and we all did it together, you know. And they were like, "Yeah, remember we showed you how to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I remember." And for whatever reason, mine went through. Now, whether it was a human error on their part or whether it was a glitch in the system, I have no idea. But I know that these 3 employees are not tobacco users, and you know, $300 a year is pretty costly for a county employee. And I would just request that the court consider waiving it for them. We did go this year and did it all together again. I wasn't aware that we could print certificates, so we just took screenshots for this year with our phones, and I printed that out and put it in their file in case, for whatever reason, it shows up again at the end of this year that someone didn't complete it. Just appreciate y'all considering this.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Nicholson?
So the 3 that didn't complete are not tobacco users?
No, they are
But they
not.
are getting charged for a tobacco fee?
Yes.
Because you had to certify as a non-tobacco user as well. Even if you do not do tobacco, you have to certify online.
So even if you do not do tobacco on the wellness incentive, it states in the pamphlet that we sent out in the email, you have to complete the non-tobacco certification. And that is just a click of 2, maybe 3 buttons, entering a date and clicking 3 buttons, and it certifies you as a non-tobacco user.
Well, I understand that, but I also understand Blue's saying that they sat down and did it.
But it didn't
And I don't
register.
think
in
we
the
should be
system.
charging people that don't use tobacco a fee.
That was the wellness incentive that you guys approved. Was
Was
Yes,
it
I
either,
know we approved that, but what we're talking about is a certification of being a non-tobacco user. And I do not think that we should be charging non-tobacco users a $12 fee.
Yeah, it was-
But they didn't
everybody had to
complete the
certify whether you did or
requirement.
didn't.
And if we're going to hold that, if we're going to hold the accountability of a tobacco user who didn't complete the requirement, but they were also told as a non-tobacco user you didn't complete the requirement either, then we're showing favoritism to non-tobacco employees that didn't complete it. Just, oh, they don't use tobacco, it's fine, it's not a big deal. That we waive their fees. That's the way it's going to be perceived. You can look at it.
the other way.
Out of the 88 employees that are non-compliant, do we know that these are the only ones that are non-tobacco users?
It's a mix of non-tobacco and tobacco.
It's a mix, more than just these 5? So there's others out there that didn't certify also that are non-tobacco?
Yes, and they realized that they didn't do it, and they understood the wellness incentive, so they haven't come forward and asked for a waiver.
What is the green on the right-hand side that says refund?
That was the ones that were able to show that they completed the requirement. So most of those that were refunded were annual physicals. They were not tobacco cessations. In Wendy's case in Precinct 1, they were, because they did it over the phone and not the internet. The ones in the green that were refunded already were ones that were annual physicals, and it could be that their doctors didn't code their physical correctly, but I received the annual physical documentation in my office, therefore I knew they went to their physicals, because it was signed by their physician.
And this wellness incentive final report, is that through TAC?
That is sent directly from Shamira Davis at TAC. And that is pulled from Sonic Boom and Well on Target, who send it to Shamira, who then sends it to myself. Because due to HIPAA laws, I cannot have access to pull that myself.
This is just a question, is there any way that we could have Blue sign a form saying that those are not tobacco users? Because I'm not for charging non-tobacco users for tobacco use. Even though we made that stipulation that they had to certify as a non-tobacco user. And I'm not for charging a non-tobacco user for tobacco use.
To be fair, if these are non-tobacco users, we're going to go through that list, and everybody that are non-tobacco users that didn't certify have to be fair to all of them. If they're non-tobacco users, you can't just give it to 5, and there's other ones in there that I know they're saying they certified, but it didn't go through, and these other ones aren't coming forward, they just didn't do it, but, you know, that was the rules. We've all got deadlines to meet on stuff, and they weren't met, but if we do give these, we'll probably have others too. So.
part of the reason for us to do it at open enrollment was to set up the deductions? So how, if the court did move forward with allowing for exemptions or to correct some of the issue, there's a process payroll would have to go through to correct all of that in the system?
Of course.
Okay. How many, let me see, how's the best way to ask this? How many overall would be that would have been certified non-tobacco users? In question here, not only the ones that are asking today, but the others that you mentioned that just said, okay, my bad, went on. How many are we looking at?
Due to HIPAA, I can't know who is a tobacco user and who is a non-tobacco user. All I know is who did not complete the requirement, and 88 employees did not complete the tobacco cessation requirement.
88 employees did not complete. That could be both
And tobacco users.
Okay.
So they'd have to come forward if they are non-tobacco user and didn't certify last year.
Any other questions again from Ms. Beaver? We have Judge Pollack that wished to, Judge Pollack?
Good morning, Commissioners. Okay, so I think there were a couple of things that were brought up that are important. Number one, there was a deadline that you had to click in there. And I was present, just as Blue was present when his employees did it. I too was present in the office when they talked about it, because I said, hey, because we got a reminder. I don't know what date it was, but we got a reminder. And I said, hey, have y'all done this yet? And they said no. So I said, well, here's where you go, here's what you do. And I listened to both Kay and Karen do it, and also the constable was there as well. They all three did it on that day. None of them have credit. None of them are smokers. None of them are tobacco users at all. And there was a glitch. I heard them, and they said they did it. Now, she says that there's a certificate you can print, and yeah, you can go, but it's not intuitively obvious. You don't get a confirmation email that you've completed it, which I would think would be standard these days, and there isn't a certificate that pops up. There's nothing that pops up that says you've done this. And Kay has actually, she did hers for her husband because he doesn't know anything about computers. And so she did that. He has credit on his. She knows how to do it. She just didn't get credit for it. And I don't know why. I guess, we all know that databases are fallible. They are fallible. She actually talked to, she sent some emails to Laney at Sonic Boom Wellness. And this started back in November, on November the 11th. When we didn't get any satisfaction going through our county employees. We didn't get any satisfaction there. And so Kay, she was still, if you know Kay, she's probably one of the most honest people I've ever met in my entire life. If she was overcharged a penny, she'd give a penny back, that kind of a thing. And so she continued to talk to Laney at Sonic Boom. And then eventually back on December the 13th, Laney from Sonic Boom said, thank you for your patience. I was able to get approval for credit being given to you for completing this. I know it took time, but I worked very hard to work with our team to get that approved for you, and we finally got it. They're going to talk to Healthy Counties to let them know that it has been approved. Is there anything else I can further assist you with? And then the next day, it said, hello, Kay, I wanted to apologize for the conflicting messages we're getting. We initially got first level approval for you to receive your credit, but it looks like we're getting pushback at a higher level. I don't know what higher level means. And so far that credit will not be given. We're still working hard to see what we can do on our end. We appreciate your patience. And then the last one was on the 16th. And it says, hi, Kay, we've been in contact, and this is from Carrie Chin, the Wellness Program Administrator in Austin, Texas Association of Counties. We've been in contact with Sonic Boom regarding your attempt at certifying as a tobacco non-user for the previous reward period. Unfortunately, the certification did not go through or show up on our reporting. When possible, we like to extend a good faith exception to members in these cases, but unfortunately, we are unable to do this on our end. Any exception would need to be made by the county through an action of the Commissioner's Court. So, Commissioners, the ball is in your court.
Okay. Questions for the judge?
And might I just make a comment about the elephant in the room here? That's a great jacket.
Any questions for the judge? Okay.
I do have one. Judge, was all four, or let's just say the constable and your two employees, they all were doing it at the same time or the same day?
Right on the same day, within like seconds, minutes of each other. They were all on their computers working on that issue, which is why I think it's a glitch. And I know they don't smoke. I know they don't dip. I know they don't do anything. And I agree with the commissioner that we should not be charging people who made the effort. Now, if you know, I would defer to saying, you know, if you're not up here complaining, if you know you did it and you're not a smoker and all that kind of stuff, I don't think you should be charged. And if you're up here complaining about it, if you're not complaining about it and you know you didn't do it, and you missed the deadline, I don't care if you smoke or not. But I know my people did this, and I know the constable did it.
The Blue, do you know, or have y'all conferred that it was on the same day? that y'all-
No, see, he knows the day that he did it. I don't. I can't remember it, and I asked them because I thought, well, if we're all on the same day, around the same time, you know, maybe something happened. But I can't say that it did. I wish I could, but I just can't.
When you pull your portal up from Sonic Boom, it's got the 2 deals on Sonic Boom, and I think when you certify, there's a circle there with a check on the ones you passed, isn't there?
Yes, that's correct.
Should have a check in it.
Yes.
Any other questions for the judge?
And again, I will say that Kay successfully did that with her husband, you know. So it's not like she doesn't know how to do it. Thanks.
Further discussion? Entertain a motion?
Well, my deal would be is that we got, you said 88 people
Yes, sir.
that are in that tobacco line,
Yes.
and have any of those said anything about?
I've had one other employee come up, but she blatantly said, I did not do it, I just couldn't figure out how to get in the system. And that was in Miss Mary Margaret's office. But she's complained as well that she's being charged and she doesn't use tobacco either. She did state that, so I do know that she does not use tobacco. But in other terms, in the other 88 or 87 of them, no one else has come forward.
And here we have 2 employees and a constable, and then 3 employees, so 6 that say they completed the program and didn't go through.
And I can
And
These-
out of the other 88, we don't have anybody except for the one, and she says
She couldn't figure out how to get in.
But of these 6, do we know if they were all non-users? It was the certification process, or do we know?
I believe they are all non-users.
All non-users, so it was the certification. Okay.
So if we had an affidavit or some kind of document that they stated that they did it on this date, and we can sign that, does that help us as a court? Or anything like that? I mean, I'm just asking you.
It's going to be at the discretion of you guys, the court, whether or not you give the waiver, and how you do it would be at your discretion. Based on the reporting in the system that TAC has, it wasn't completed solely based on their system. I'm not saying they didn't do it. They could very well have done it, and it could have been a glitch.
And their department heads, if we had a signed affidavit saying I witnessed them doing it, Judge Blue,
I don't have a problem signing that.
and that a way that I guess kind of we as the court are not covered, but saying that we do have some backup documentation that they agree that they did see them do it, they witnessed them do it, and that kind of stuff. That's just kind of, I mean, if there was a glitch in the system, there is. I wish we knew what day they were on to get there, so.
Is there any way, if they certify for their 2022 year by the end of January with a non-tobacco user certificate, that we can waive the ones that are non-tobacco users?
That would be
If
up to
they
the
get it done
commissioners.
before the end of January.
And if they get it done and they can print something out and provide it, then if that's okay with you guys, then that's the route you want to take. We can make the changes.
May I say something real quick on that?
Please.
They've already done that, and they've taken screenshots to make sure that they have proof that they've done it.
I helped Constable Baker do his in my office and printed it out for him as well.
And Blue, how your,
Yes, sir, we've all done it. I have screenshots as well.
The item is for 2 offices. We wish to do this, something like this, for more than just the 2 offices.
Out of 88, I'm sure some of those are going to be non-tobacco users that just didn't get there and do it. And I noticed some of them, didn't get physicals either, but we're here about tobacco today, so.
If
I
anyone,
don't want to really set a precedence for this happening every year. This is our first year to do this. Maybe somebody other than these employees that they saw complete the program and it just hadn't shown up on the portal. But I think if we do it for the other departments, it has to be brought like these gentlemen brought it by the department head or the elected official,
okay,
not just by the individual. And then we will have this affidavit signed by them saying that they saw their employees do it and that they are non-tobacco users. Because like I said before, none of us are getting rich here. And I'm not for charging employees $25 a month for smoking when they're non-tobacco users. We're penalizing somebody that's a non-tobacco user anyway. So I think this is a way to alleviate this problem that we have now, and hopefully moving forward, more of us will be used to what we have to do to get it in. We won't wait till the last minute like some, and I'm not saying they did, but I know I had some wait till the last minute.
where does the $25 go to? Does it go to the county?
It stays with the county, and then it helps for premium differentials. So the cost of it's supposed to help, the idea of this is supposed to help with the insurance renewal.
I understand that.
So that stays with the county, and then if we, during renewal time, if we owe more, if we haven't paid enough versus what come out of our claims, that premium differential can cover the cost of the claims and hopefully to lower the renewal rate. In return, would help the employees with their monthly premiums.
and the reason so much time is being given for those in the audience is we're talking about an expenditure of $5.5 million that this is in process. That's what the county spends on health insurance. And we've seen an escalation of those costs, and to help deter those costs or mitigate those costs, these actions have been implemented. So it's not that the county's worrying over $25. It impacts $5.5 million. So it is well worth the discussion. Any other comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion. If I might.
I move that we grant a waiver to these employees that have come before us today with the stipulation of a signed waiver by the elected official or department head stating that they are non-tobacco users.
An affidavit. Okay.
And that's for all departments or just these two?
I'm going to grant the waivers for these that approach us today. But other departments, if they have someone can approach us, but it has to be done by the department head like these have done today.
Okay. And you have seconded
Yes.
that. Okay. Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Tooley to grant the waiver. Let me go back to the agenda, excuse me. To grant the waiver for the employees of the Juvenile Probation Department and Justice Precinct 2, waiving premium differential for the Wellness Incentive Plan based upon submission of affidavit of the elected official. Now, in the discussion portion of this, only because it's technical, and our county attorney's sitting in the back. Our constable is an elected official as well, outside of being Justice of the Peace office. So if we wish to add him into this, since the judge is speaking as if Constable 2 is a part of his department, do we want to grant his here today with this request, or do we want to have him come forward with the at another time?
I think that,
Okay, because someone would be technical and nitpick us about, well, constable is another elected official outside the Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 office. Because there's nothing here stating it, so I'm asking that. Would you like to amend your motion to add the constable?
By adding constable.
Okay,
precinct 2. Second.
okay. All those in favor of the amended motion, say, or passes unanimously. Thank you very much. And Judge, I know you've got a court hearing. So,
I appreciate it. Thank you all.
you bet. Item number 5, consider and take action on resolution for the formation of the Henderson County, Texas Sexual Assault Response Team, otherwise known as Sart. And we have our district attorney with us today, Ms. Palmer. Ms. Palmer, tell us about this.
Good morning, Court. I'm excited to be here today to present to you the resolution for the formation of our Adult Sexual Assault Response Team, or SART team. The legislature this year recognized the need for these SART teams, and they mandated that counties form these SART teams and commissioners' courts appoint members to these sexual assault response teams. Henderson County, in recognizing the need for this team, we're proposing today that you appoint certain members. The first would be myself as the district attorney. We'd also have Clint Davis, who is our Henderson County attorney, Sheriff Bodie Hillhouse as the sheriff of Henderson County, Athens Police Chief John Dinsmore, Megan Richardson, who is our sexual assault nurse examiner. She performs these examinations on victims of sexual assault. Ginger Ford, who is from the Henderson County Help Center, which would be the chief administrator of our sexual assault program. And Stephanie Walker, who is from Cedar Creek Wellness Group, who provides mental or behavioral health services for victims of sexual assault that are adults. Our goal is to reduce the re-traumatization of victims of sexual assault. We also would work together to provide services and also have successful investigation and prosecution of victims of sexual assault. I will say that Henderson County is already ahead of the game. We've already had one meeting talking about how we would like this to look going forward. We have the support of everybody, these agencies that I've talked about. A lot of them are here today. We also have our city managers here today in support of this sexual assault response team. So I am happy to say that we are ahead of the game, and we're looking forward to what it's going to look like next year.
Okay. Questions?
I'd like to say thank you to all of you for volunteering for this and for Henderson County, and happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
If you would, Ms. Palmer, for those that don't know, this is also instigated by legislation.
It is.
Could you kind of go into some of the background of that?
Sure. So the legislature this year really looked at sexual assaults and the reporting that's happening. Under 10% of all sexual assaults are reported. And last year, in 2020, there are over 30,000 sexual assaults reported to law enforcement and over 50,000 survivors that sought services for mental health. And so in forming this team, we're going to be looking at these numbers. We'll be looking towards how we can successfully investigate these cases, and we'll report back to Commissioners Court in December of next year on our progress. There's also some classes that we'll have to take, and we're going to be meeting at least quarterly as well.
Okay. You named some positions, some individuals.
Sure.
When we appoint these, we have found that it is better to appoint the category as a representative. The nurse examiner?
Yes, this is a sexual assault nurse examiner. That's Megan Richardson from UT Health. She's our SANE nurse. She's actually present here in court today.
Okay.
And she also provides services for our children who are victims of sexual assault. So we're excited that she's volunteered to be part of our team.
Well, the reason I bring that up is it makes it much easier to administer as people come and go. Setting this up where it is categorically.
And one of the requirements, Judge, is if there is a vacancy within 30 days, the Commissioners Court has to reappoint. And so that's something we'll be notifying you if there is a vacancy. But these categories are something that the legislator said that we had to fill these categories and name the person that's going to be in that
So
slot.
we do have to actually name them.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. If you would, because we're going to need for the record, again, if you would.
Sure.
Name off these yourself.
Sure. So the chief administrator of our sexual assault program is the Henderson County Help Center with Ginger Ford, and Ginger's here today. And then myself, Jenny Palmer, the prosecutor with jurisdiction over adult sexual assaults. Then we have the sheriff of our county or their designee, and our sheriff, Bodie Hillhouse, has agreed to be a member. The chief of the largest municipal law enforcement agency, which is Athens Police Department, John Densmore. Our sexual assault nurse examiner, which is Megan Richardson. And then a mental or behavioral health provider within the county, which is Stephanie Walker within the Cedar Creek Wellness Group. And other persons that we believe necessary for the operation of a successful Sart, and that is Clint Davis, our county attorney.
Thank you. Pencil sharp, Mary Margaret? Questions, comments from the court?
So the legislation made this team, and it has no money attached to it, or as of this time?
So at this time, there's not a penalty, but I think it's very important that we establish this team. And I think going forward, when we're reporting back these numbers back to the legislature, that's something that they will look at.
And so, and it's just a team here locally that doesn't have any kind of funding. Y'all are just doing the prosecution on, like, as a team to go out and try to find that individual that's.
So it's a collaborative report, a collaborative approach. We've got members of our law enforcement agency that do the investigation. You have members of prosecution do the prosecution. You have members of our SANE nurse, which help discover that evidence. And we also have people that will provide services to survivors of sexual assault. And we're looking at what we can do better and really looking at how these are reported and how we can more successfully help these people who are survivors of sexual assault.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the resolution for the formation of the Henderson County, Texas Sexual Assault Response Team, SART.
I'll second her motion.
Can I ask that we have the addition of those named individuals to your motion?
Yes.
Okay. You second that, Commissioner?
Yes, second.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Spivey, second by Commissioner Richardson, to approve the resolution of the creation of the Henderson County SART team with the aforementioned members listed as members. Any further discussion? Thank you very much. Oh, yes.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just going for a vote.
Thank you all very much for, because it is unpaid and it is voluntary. Thank you all very much for that.
Thank you, Judge.
All those in favor of the motion? Item passes. Item 6, consider and take action on an interlocal agreement with East Texas Council of Governments Cogworks Purchasing Cooperative. Good morning.
Yes, Court. Cogworks was a thought that East Texas Cog started several years ago. It kind of got put on the back burner for a while, and they have brought it back to life and got everything rolling again. What it is it's a purchasing cooperative Currently, they have 2 bids out, and this cooperative will satisfy the bid requirements for all of the entities within the COG that enter into the interlocal agreements that will keep us from having to go out for bid. It'll work just the same as like Texas Smart by NIGP, the DIR, not Best Buy, Buy Board. And so it'll be more on a local level, more local type vendors as opposed to national or statewide vendors. And I had Clint look over the agreement, and he's okay with it. And so just need the court to approve it and go from there.
Questions?
So are corporations or businesses going to have to pay in like they do to Buy Board and other things for
Yes.
the East Texas Council of Governments?
Yes, they will, vendors will have to pay in. I'm not aware of how much that fee is. That information was not provided. I tried to look and see, when I went through the website, and it wasn't available for me to access. When you go in to try to look through the vendor page, you have to enter in vendor information like you're trying to become a member. And so I couldn't get very far that way. I did put in a request, but the lady that is over this is out for the holidays, so I'll have to wait till she gets back. So I can't really, yes, there is a fee, but I don't know how much it is. I know in the past, it wasn't a substantial fee.
Yeah, this was spoke about in our last East Texas Council of Government meeting. It's something that I think is going to be beneficial to the members of the East Texas Council of Governments, and it's going to be a program, hopefully, that they're trying to work into a program much like Buy Board. There will be a fee. It'll be a nominal fee. Right now, they only have office supplies and I think drone equipment.
Yeah, those are the two that are open.
To start it off, there's not a whole lot in there because they've got bids out right now. And I think after the first of the year, they'll have some some businesses entered in that category. But it's a startup program. So it's small right now, but I think in the future they want to move it into something localized Buy Board type organization. So I think it's going to be beneficial for the counties.
Yeah.
It's just going to take time. It's not going to be perfect right off, but
Yeah,
they're working really hard on it.
I want to say it was 5-6 years ago, give or take.
10.
10, yeah. It's been quite a while when
Been
they
a long
first
time
started
coming,
talking
and
about
they've
it,
got
yeah.
somebody in there that's really focused on it, and she's doing a great job, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be beneficial to the counties in this area over time. It's just going to take a little while.
How long is the agreement for? A year or just until we cancel?
Until we cancel.
Any other questions or comments? Entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we enter into an interlocal agreement with the East Texas Council of Governments Cog Works Purchasing Co-op
I'll second.
with the judge's signature to authorize that.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the interlocal agreement with the East Texas Council of Governments for CogWorks Purchasing Cooperative with the judge's authorization to sign. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 7, consider and take action to donate surplus material to the East Texas Arboretum and Botanical Society for construction of a small bridge located precinct 1. Commissioner?
Yes, Court. I did an interlocal agreement with the Arboretum a couple months ago, and we had time to go out there and do some work, and I was wanting to donate some old bridge material that we took we tore down 2 bridges last year and made them with cement, and this is just some old material that we had we were gonna use for the floor.
Okay. Questions for the commissioner? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make the motion to donate surplus materials to the East Texas Arboretum and Botanical Society for construction of a small bridge located in Precinct 1.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey, second by Commissioner Tootley, to approve the donation of surplus material to the East Texas Arboretum and Botanical Society for the construction of a small bridge located in Precinct 1. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes. Item 8, consider and take action to allow work on private property off of County Road 4325 at Dunn Creek to alleviate drainage issues located in Precinct 4. Commissioner Richardson?
Yes, Court. This, on County Road 4325 at Dunn Creek, there's a beaver dam on private property about 100 yards off the roadway. It's got water backed up to the edge of the road, and that's on the north side of the road. And on the south side of the road, there's a big lake with a spillway. So when we get a big rain, it needs to take that water away. And these people have no way to break this beaver dam or control them. So we need to get in there and get it broke, and maybe stay after it a few times and probably get a beaver trapper or something in there on these people's land too. It's about a 100-yard beaver dam. And we're not going to be able to get it all broke. We're just going to be able to break it enough to get the water flowing. And it may be a deal where they can build it back overnight. Depends on how many beavers are in there. So I'm asking the court to approve this so we can move in and get this water alleviated before it gets over the road. It's a minor collector road, and we don't need it water over the top of it.
Okay. Questions for the commissioner? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to allow work on private property off County Road 4325 at Dunn Creek to alleviate drainage issues. With the commissioner's authorization to sign.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner McCam, to approve the agreement to allow work on private property off of County Road 4325 at Dunn Creek to alleviate drainage issues located in Precinct 4 with the Commissioner's authorization to sign. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes. Item 9, consider and take action to reappoint a member to Emergency Service District Number 4 Board of Directors located in Precinct 1. Commissioner Spivey?
Yes, Court, I have Mr. Tate Crown has come up for the end of his term, and he's really wanting to step down, but he said he would stay until we could find somebody to replace him. And there's several other members on there that I need to find some more people for so they can continue to have their meetings in their ESD.
Okay. Questions for the commissioner? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to approve to reappoint Mr. Tate Crown to the Board of Commissioners on ESD number 4 located in Precinct 1. This is a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey, second by Commissioner Tootley, to reappoint, Mr. Tate Crown to the Board of Commissioners of Emergency Service District Number 4 for a 2-year term ending December 31, 2023. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes.
I do have one question.
Yes.
When they get reappointed, do we have to swear them in again, or do we need to?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 10, consider and take action to reappoint a member to the Emergency Service District Number 10 Board of Directors located in Precinct 2. Commissioner Tootley?
I looked at that a while ago and I thought it said 11. And then you called on me and I'm like, oh, I do have something on here. Yes, Court. There are two positions that are up. We want to thank Rick Pacelli for his time on the ESD number 10. And we will be looking for another person to replace him. But Donna Ward has asked to be reappointed. And is doing some great work there, as she tells me every day what she does. So anyway, we're pretty pleased that she's accepted the reappointment.
Questions for the commissioner? Entertain a motion.
Judge, I move we take action to reappoint Donna Ward to the ESD Number 10 Board of Directors for a term which to expire December 31st, 2023.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tootley, second by Commissioner Spivey, to reappoint Donna Ward to the Emergency Service District Number 10 Board of Directors for a term which will expire December 31, 2023. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes. Item 11, consider and take action on matters related to Emergency Service District audits. Ms. Brown.
Good morning. So this morning, I'm just presenting to you the court a letter from our office as a reminder that the audit office will not be able to complete the ESD audit request for this upcoming year. The responsibilities of our office just do not allow us the time to also take on these audits. We have provided, and ESDs are aware if they have exemptions of the requirements for the audit, or they can have the audit completed by a licensed CPA.
Okay. And just this is something that the audit office has done for a few over the years, but the workload has gotten to the point where it's not a requirement that the audit office does it. It has been a benefit to assist as they've moved along. It's just
become overwhelming and cumbersome, and the fee we charge does not cover the cost of our office.
Okay.
These audits.
Okay. Questions for Ms. Brown or Ms. Lee?
So all we're asking them is to procure the $11,000 or $12,000.
No, this item is for our ESDs. The next item is for our fire departments.
Oh, I got you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry.
No problem.
Court, in your backup, we proposed a letter of notification to the ESDs, making them aware from the court, because it is the court's responsibility to oversee and to ensure compliance. And by this notification, we will have met that requirement by statute. Of course, the letter states about the audits. It states about the educational efforts that we undertook a few months ago with our ESD boards. And in the letter, we talk about continuing that into the future. So any discussion concerning either the auditor's letter, the Safe D supplemental information, or the letter from the court? Okay. Well, if we would, can we get a motion to approve the letter